Hello, friends. This is Dr. John World Peace, JD, coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is Sunday, 17th of October, 2021. I want to talk to you today about some things in general. I have been off the YouTube for a while because I've been trying to get my poetry books published and submitted off to Pulitzer and a whole bunch of other things that I'm working on, teach peace and so forth. But I wanted to start off this new period of posting videos, which I hope to be posting one or two a day from now on, but certainly at least one. The world is in total chaos. You know, I used to think that when Facebook came along, that there would be these global conversations going on, and the truth would come out. And what I have found is that the Facebook has created chaos. People are not able to sift through all of the information that's on the internet. They just don't have the capacity to do it. It is overwhelming, the amount of information out there. And so people tend to follow maybe one speaker, and then that speaker points to other speakers, and pretty soon, if you have picked the wrong guy in the beginning, then you're in trouble. For some reason, when I was very young, 13, 12, I don't know, I was concerned about being controlled. Maybe it had to do with the nonsense that was going on in Houston in the South, the lies and nonsense said about the blacks, and a lot of people believing it. Crazy. But I, at some point, said, I want to know something very simple. If I buy Cheerios in the store or I eat Cheerios, am I eating Cheerios because I really like them better than all other cereals? Or am I eating Cheerios because the people on TV manipulated my mind to think Cheerios was the best? And it really comes down to that. So, all the way through the end of high school and more so in college, I studied mind control, the art of deception, and so forth, of how do you know when you've been deceived. And I made a pretty intense study of that question. And what's happened is that what comes on the internet, the false stuff, and when people have a lot of money, they can get more time on Facebook. Facebook knows your every single habit. If you mention the word conservative at any point on Facebook, well, if a conservative message comes up, they can buy your attention. Because Facebook knows that you have used the word conservative. So Facebook is able to let these good and bad people target people that really don't have the ability to distinguish what they're hearing from what is true and what is false. And so we're sitting here with this battle of the band situation, a battle of advertising between the falsity and truth. And there's so much of it. Everybody walks around with a cell phone now. Some people, they never put it in their pocket. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. And soon the eyeglasses are going to get more popular, and people are going to be looking at the internet while they're talking to you, and you're never going to know what's going on unless you are able to spot these glasses, and after you spot them, recognize that those aren't regular glasses. And you don't know whether a person is talking to you or watching Mickey Mouse. So anyway, we're in this crisis, and you know what? Nobody has stepped forward with any answers. Nobody stepped forward as not a neutral person, but somebody who's willing to listen to all sides and try to show the way through whatever is being projected. College is where you learn to be critical. College is, you are challenged in what you believe. It's an indirect thing. It's just something that goes on. College is about asking questions and getting answers. It's about teachers putting things out and then allowing the students to challenge them. But if you go to a Christian college, then you're gonna get the Christian perspective. A certain amount, and a lot actually, of things are not allowed to be discussed. I heard from an early age, I mean, childhood. Oh, don't be reading what those other churches write, because that's the devil's work. Well, there's 200 denominations of Christianity, so we got one is true, and excuse me, and 199 are false. That's nuts. 200 different interpretations of the Bible and significant followings in these individual nuanced different takes and different concepts and thoughts and opinions about what Jesus said. If you don't like what the kind of Christianity that Church A is preaching, well, you go to Church B. If you don't like that, go to C. And you can keep floating around until you get get what you want to hear. Not necessarily the truth. Christian colleges do not go into questioning everything. Christian colleges have a Jesus, what they consider a Jesus take on everything. And there's no discussion about those things. Abortion is one of those issues. If you go to a secular college, then you hear the whole story. You're not hearing just the Christian side, you're hearing all of it. And your fellow students are going to harass you, bother you, agree with you, be friends with you, gang up with you to challenge another group, the Baptists against the Presbyterians, the Protestants against the Catholics, and we believe this, and then we got the Mormons, and Jehovah Witnesses and the Joel Osteen creep. So everybody is confused. And they can't make a decision. And I'll tell you how confused they are. You have a deadly virus. And it has stopped the economy. It has rippled through the world human society. And we have 30% of Americans never had a vaccine. But they want their jobs to be there. They want the economy to go forward. But people can't work because so many people are getting sick, and we have to have lockdowns and restrictions and wear a mask and all this kind of stuff. But if everybody was vaccinated, we wouldn't have this. America would be leading the world back to normalcy. We don't have this nonsense over flu shots. Some people don't take it, but the flu's not deadly. It can be. I think 60,000 people a year die of the flu. There's 200 million Americans that have had the flu shot. And for the most part, there are some repercussions for certain groups of people, but for the most part, that's a safe vaccine. And why don't people go get it? There's no excuse that the vaccine's going to kill you. But one thing is true, that people who get a serious case of COVID, those people, after they get well, for 6 months and maybe longer, they still have the symptoms. They're not free of it. They can't get it out of their system. The best thing is don't get it. But regardless of that, the best thing is to get the vaccine and let everybody go back to work. Simple. We won't have any restrictions if 95% of the population is vaccinated. There's going to be a percentage of people that don't want it, never want it, and you'll have to kill them to give it to them. Well, that's fine. But in this day and time, after 20-odd months or whatever it is since this virus took hold, there's no reason not to get vaccinated. I don't know what people are being told that I'm not hearing. I'm not somebody that listens to all the chatter on Facebook. It's just too much. I go to the traditional news sources, ABC, CBS, even CNN. Fox News is so biased and crazy that I don't want to hear that. And I wouldn't want to hear an ultra-liberal station either. I don't want to be out on the fringes. I want to be down on the main highway. I want to know what's going on. And I don't want ABC podcaster who has his or her own agenda. Most of these people are nuts. They don't have any training in the areas that they believe that they're propagating. They propagate what makes money. They will tell you a pig flies if they can get some money. That's all there is to it. They've created a pitch, and it works. Doesn't have anything to do with the truth. I'll give you a prime example. You good Christians, go to church on Sunday. You believe in Jesus. You swear that you believe in Jesus. You swear that you've been saved by Jesus. You get baptized. What was Jesus' primary message? Love one another. Really, love one another. If somebody slaps you on the cheek, turn the other cheek. Forgive. Peter came to Jesus and said, how many times do I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said 7 times. 7 times. This is an ultra-liberal message. Love one another. Help one another. The Good Samaritan. This is the ultra-liberal position. Help each other. Everybody. Help everybody. All races, all religions, both genders, all nationalities. Help them all. That's the ultra-liberal message of Jesus. Fine, you're in church on Sunday morning and you spend a couple hours and you're getting into it and you're singing the hymns and talking about this ultra-liberal guy. And then what do you do on Monday? You listen to Donald Trump. What does Donald Trump say? The radical left. They are the enemies of society. And 70% of the Republicans follow Donald Trump. They believe in his message. They're as screwed up as the Nazis, the Germans, who took a elected Hitler and turned him into a demon. They supported Hitler. They let him talk his Jew trash. They let him, in the beginning, just clean out the mentally insane and deficient people and, euthanize them. They supported that. Deutschland über alles. Germany over everybody. That's not a Christian message. So you go to church on Sunday morning and you give Jesus your lip service and his ultra-liberal message, and then in the afternoon on Sunday and all the way through the next week up to the next Sunday morning, you're ready to kill at the extreme anybody that's on the radical left. That was Hitler's message. Hitler was a radical, right-wing, conservative fascist. That was his message. The hell with love everyone. Deutschland über alles. If you ain't German, you ain't jack shit. Well, now we have this Trump thing. If you ain't a Trumpy, well, you ain't nothing. The crap that comes out of Trump's mouth. But I'm just talking right now about his hatred of Jesus. Totally contrary to Jesus. Jesus is a radical, no good person, and if he were around today, there would be as much negativity thrown at him as AOC and Obama and Biden and all that. You got to have a unified philosophy, and you're either a Christian all week or you're not a Christian at all. Love one another. Do unto others. Be the Good Samaritan. This is John World Peace. Thanks for your consideration.